Hello and welcome to TIA Now. We're here today at the Quest Forum Service Provider and Supplier Summit in Plano, Texas. Breaking today was the announcement of the merger of Quest Forum and TIA. Here to discuss the reasons and expectations of this combination are Fraser Pajak, CEO of Quest Forum, and Wes Johnston, CEO of TIA, the Telecommunications Industry Association. Gentlemen, both, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Fraser, why this merger, why now?
You know, that's a great question. In any business, timing is pretty much everything. And I would say the timing is perfect, as there's so many associations out there. There's even some association confusion, there's conference confusion, but there's also a transformation going on in the industry and a key role that the right combination of associations can contribute to. And I would suggest to you in this merger, we've chosen the right partner at the right time.
So Wes, if you think of the industry and the impact of this combination, what's the benefit of this to both the membership but also the end users of the network?
Yeah, I think the benefits, John, do fall into those two primary categories. There are benefits for our members. So the increase in the breadth of offerings, we'll start there. One nice thing about this particular merger is we have a shared strategy, a shared understanding of the opportunity, a shared commitment to people and culture, but we didn't have overlapping service offerings or offerings. So therefore, the merger's made really easy. We can just integrate the two organizations and then allow for the members of both organizations to participate in the communities of the other. So there's no overlap. We do have some overlapping members, which is terrific because that provides a little bit of a groundswell for why it makes sense. So the members get to be included in this case, the TL9000, the sustainability offerings that Quest Forum has. But where I get really excited is looking downstream to the solution-based applications that we're taking to market with our members around the infrastructure assurance, device assurance, smart communities, smart buildings, accelerating connectivity, that the community of users, whether it's municipalities, or building owners or whoever the end user might be, now gets to consume the application in a much broader way because we're looking forward to figuring out how do we incorporate a TL9000-like quality approach into the supply chain for an end user solution. I mean, I can easily see a scenario where an urban planner with an RFP for a smart community wants to know, can you help me understand the quality of the products that will be deployed into my city infrastructure? And I'd love to be able to say, yes, we can, because our members and their suppliers participate in a program called TL9000.
Great. During your opening remarks this morning, you referenced agility, scale, quality, and trust. If you think about the new combined organization, how is that realized? How would that be realized for the new entity?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I put the word agility in there for a reason, because we do need the ability to make long-term secular big bets, the Internet of Things, smart communities like I mentioned, infrastructure assurance, but we also need the ability, the agility, to fire up a working group, a community, to tackle a problem. Literally, it could just be some sort of parochial type problem that only affects a handful of members. No problem. Then we need an infrastructure where we can fire up a community, they can work on it and solve it, and then potentially shut it down. It might only be a few months where that's active. Or we might say, let's take a look at a particular opportunity. Let's fire up a working group, convene the membership, take a look at it and go, this is worth doubling down on the investment and moving from an idea to a framework or a reference architecture. Or we might look at it and go, okay, we did a nice job of exploring it, but let's shut it down. So that kind of flexibility and agility is necessary. Scale, of course, just refers to the repeatability of processes, and I think nobody's done a better job of that than Quest Forum, and of course we're investing in the same. But I do like to put the word trust out there, which is moving beyond quality. Quality is hugely important, but I would like us to have the ability to speak to trust through the supply chain in addition to just quality.
Fraser, we heard Wes talk about TL 9000 a bit. Certainly Quest Forum is a globally respected organization around network benchmarking, performance, sustainability. When you think about your part of the pie and the TIA part of the pie coming together, what would you be bringing to this merger, you the entity, Quest Forum, particularly around TL 9000?
Well, I'd like to say that I've often said before that Quest Forum and TL 9000 are some of the best kept secrets in industry, and our sustainability program as well. And with the larger community of the combined memberships of over 500, that gives us a far greater playing field, if you will, to take our services to market both directions. I'd also say that the capabilities that the two organizations have developed over time, albeit different, are very complementary. If you take a look at where the industry is going in its evolution to a digital ecosystem, and you look at the standards work and the policy work, advocacy, and the market intelligence that TIA has brought to the table year after year, impeccable reputation doing that, and you bring that along with quality measures, sustainability, benchmarking, and a quality management system, and you've kind of got the trifecta of something that could really enable the industry to go quickly. I want to play off what Wes said as well, though. We need to be more agile for sure. So we've got great reputations in bringing these things to market. We need to do it a lot faster.
And that references also to another word you used this morning, fulcrum. And what did you mean by that?
Well, I was referring to the literal definition where a small amount of effort can move a big load. And the example I used, and you brought it up this morning, so I'll give you full credit, was TCP was the enabling technology that dramatically accelerated the growth of the internet, as a specific example. So what is the enabling technology, the enabling solution that will dramatically accelerate the full and broader adoption of IoT into solution areas across the globe? I mean, we have some ideas, but I think collectively if we can work to identify what that fulcrum is, maybe it's a standard, maybe it's a reference architecture, maybe it's something else. But I think trying to identify it should be part of the role of a trade association to move the entire industry forward.
If you think, Fraser and Wes, over the next several months, what might the industry look forward to as milestones of this combination?
Well, coming out of the gate, I think we're actually showing some leadership in the association community. We have a bit of a first mover advantage here. I believe you're going to see other associations looking around and saying, does this make a lot of sense for us to do the same thing? Immediately, you're going to see us developing a joint schedule of outward events for 2018. There's a bit of almost event fatigue out there. There's new associations popping up all the time and the calendars are filling up with events to choose from. We both have a powerful value proposition, putting those two together in a one-stop shopping event. So you'll see a common event schedule coming out in 2018. But even before then, we're looking at our existing product suites and offering them to the greater community. Sustainability to the enterprise portion of TIA, standards to our membership. So we're looking at what are those quick hitters, and then shortly following on that, what joint service development do we bring both capabilities for new products and services.
And I like to add that the relationship with Quest Forum began some time ago, and it began as a partnership. And that is one of the messages that we're comfortable at TIA communicating, is our willingness to partner. Partnering with other associations, partnering with enterprises that might have an interest in a particular solution set. And I think as we continue to form those partnerships and accelerate development around them, we're going to see similar opportunities to convert a partnership into a potential merger.
And one last question, when you mentioned partnership, you mentioned origins of the organization and commonality. I think it's important that our audience also understand that the leadership of this combined entity have their own common background, and I think it hasn't been revealed here. However, we'd like to know if this emblem looks at all familiar to you, both having your Canadian roots. And the question is, what is your favorite Canadian beer? Wes?
Well, I am very comfortable saying that I am an ale man. So Molson Canadian would be my beer of choice.
So nice. And Fraser?
That's an easy question for me. 33 Acres Brewing Company, 15 West 8th in Vancouver.
Very specific answer. All right, gentlemen, thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you.